It's a quiet Sunday afternoon, and a rogue cricket ball strikes a drying rack, sending freshly washed laundry straight into the mud. The clock is ticking. There is an evening party in just a few hours, and these exact clothes are required. The primary obstacle is access. The only washing machine is inside the house, guarded by the parents who just finished the original load. To fix this without detection, you have to bypass standard household infrastructure entirely. The objective is to execute a completely covert, zero-appliance emergency wash and dry sequence before the evening begins. Overcoming this domestic crisis means leaving the laundry room behind and relying on makeshift chemistry and extreme aerodynamics to salvage the wardrobe. Step 1 is water acquisition. Without access to the indoor sinks, you have to secure 2 large buckets and discreetly detach an outdoor garden hose from its usual tap, completing the extraction before the neighborhood watchman notices. Once the buckets are full, you hit an immediate chemical bottleneck. Heavy mud requires a strong cleaning agent to separate from the fabric, but the liquid detergent is trapped inside the house. This requires a chemical workaround, surfactant substitution. When paper soap dissolves, it releases surfactant chains that attach to dirt particles. Activating this requires intense manual agitation. Scrubbing generates foam, providing kinetic energy for the chains to pull mud from the fabric fibers. After several minutes of continuous physical exertion, the mud fully detaches. The result is a batch of perfectly clean garments sitting in buckets of soapy water. While paper soap is packaged for a quick hand wash, scaling up the chemical volume effectively turns 2 simple buckets into a highly functional manual washing machine. With the clothes clean, the next requirement is evaporation, but heavy cloud cover suddenly moves in, blocking the sun and eliminating traditional outdoor line drying. This forces a pivot to an artificial, indoor wind system. By arranging household chairs in a precise semicircle around a standard pedestal fan, you create a concentrated tunnel maximizing aerodynamic airflow over the wet fabric. Setting the fan to its maximum speed initiates evaporative cooling. The continuous push of dry indoor air over the damp clothing steadily strips moisture from the threads. And then the local power grid fails. The fan stops spinning, the airflow drops to zero, and the evaporative process immediately halts, stranding the wet clothes indoors. When localized, low-power solutions fail due to infrastructure grid limits, drying the clothes requires seeking out massive, high-altitude kinetic energy. Just a short distance away, a local fair provides that energy. A towering Ferris wheel is spinning rapidly against the overcast gray sky. The team divides the damp garments equally. Each person takes 2 heavy articles of clothing and boards one of the rotating passenger carts. This leverages the principle of high-velocity evaporation. As the cart elevates the damp fabric, wind velocity increases exponentially, exposing threads to intense atmospheric currents. To maximize the effect, passengers manually intervene. Waving clothing outside forces high-velocity air across the largest possible surface area. Maintaining this exposure for the duration of a single 5-minute ride cycle achieves 100% moisture removal. As the cart returns to the platform and the riders exit, the garments are completely dry and ready to wear. Combining extreme mechanical elevation with aggressive manual agitation effectively replicates the spin cycle of an industrial dryer, compressing an hour-long process into minutes. The fully dry clothes are transported back to the house and quickly hung on the original balcony drying rack, resetting the scene. Now comes the final psychological step of the process, mustering the courage to walk inside and immediately deliver a full, honest debrief of the disaster to the parents. The reaction is unexpected. Instead of issuing a punishment, the sheer ingenuity and physical effort applied to fixing the mistake diffuses the tension. In fact, different clothes could have been worn to the party all along. The immediate reward for this transparency is professional finishing. A hot, heavy steam iron glides smoothly across the crisp fabric, instantly erasing any deep wrinkles left over from the high-altitude drying cycle. The team gets dressed in their pristine outfits, boards the car, and arrives at the evening party right on schedule. Engineering extreme logistical hacks is a thrilling intellectual exercise, but in the end, transparent communication with management, in this case your parents, is the ultimate, most efficient shortcut to solving a crisis.